to ask your wife what she needs sexually from you. Some women want a break from sex, but they're afraid to stop being sexual with you because they're afraid that if they don't do that with you, that you will go looking for it elsewhere. But the reality is that no healthy sexual relationship is built on fear. It's supposed to be built on mutual love and trust. And so many women benefit from taking a break from being sexual. Some women want to be sexual with their spouse after an affair or pornography addiction. If that is what she truly wants, that's fine. I mean, that is God's design for sexuality. But if she does need a break, I want to encourage you to give her that space. Many wives also request what's called a 24-hour disclosure agreement if you act out. And this is something you're going to need to talk about together. I mean, there's lots of different categories of acting out, right? If you've crossed the flesh line in any way, if you've gone to a strip club, if you've been in a chat room with sexual dialogue, if you've clicked on pornography. Here's what's tricky is a lot of times in early recovery, it's really easy to minimize or twist the truth. So for example, you may think, well, I just visited the Sports Illustrated swimwear edition page. I did not look at porn. Well, dial it back and think about what is the definition of pornography. It is sexually stimulating material. Does it have to involve nudity? Does it have to involve actual penetration? I think we lie to ourselves when we say, oh, that's not that big of a deal. Ask your wife, do you want to know if I click on anything that is arousing on the internet or in a magazine? Another issue is masturbation. The definition of masturbation is self-stimulation of the genitals. I have heard so many men over the years in recovery who believe that because they did not ejaculate, that they did not masturbate. But if you really ask the questions, they have stimulated themselves. They just didn't ejaculate. And I just want to remind you what the definition of masturbation is, so that if your wife wants to know if you have masturbated or not, that you're clear on what she's asking you. And so talk about these things together and come up with what it is exactly that she would like you to disclose to her. I will tell you, it's very scary to come forward and be like, hey, I acted out. I looked at porn and I masturbated. Believe it or not, if your wife wants to know this information and you come forward and you come clean of your own will without her catching you, this will build a level of trust. Now, she may be upset in that moment, but most women agree that more than half of the pain of sexual betrayal is the deception and the lying and the hiding that has been happening. So when you come clean and you're honest, it can really start to rebuild trust, especially if you take responsibility for what you've done and you really double down on your recovery and let it lead you into deeper healing.